We recently put out a video discussing 3 Balkan nations contributing forces to the NATO multinational brigade in Latvia, namely Albania, Montenegro, and North Macedonia. However, there's a 4th Balkan nation sending troops to the Baltics. Well, sometimes. We're talking about Croatia's occasional deployment of troops in support of the German-led multinational battlegroup in Lithuania. Since 2017, the country has deployed 3 times and is committed to deploying yet again in 2026. Let's take a quick look at Croatia's contributions for today's video. The armed forces of Croatia committed to joining NATO's enhanced forward presence in line with a decision made by the Croatian parliament on June 30, 2017. The Croatian troops joined the Rukla-based multinational battalion, which at the time saw 450 troops from Germany, 100 from Belgium, over 200 from the Netherlands, around 200 from Norway, and 20 from Luxembourg. In December 2017, Croatian Defence Force troops arrived to begin their roughly 6-month rotation. Lithuania's Minister of National Defence at the time had this to say about the contribution. "We are grateful and appreciate the contribution of the countries forming the NATO Enhanced Forward Presence Battalion Battle Group in Lithuania. It is a demonstration of alliance solidarity and unity, and we welcome Croatia's decision to join the measures of strengthening NATO deterrence and collective defence in the Baltic region." The first Croatian contingent consisted of 180 troops, with the majority of them coming from the country's 1st Mechanized Battalion Tigers of the Guards Mechanized Brigade. Equipment and armament included logistic support elements and Patria armored vehicles, more specifically the Patria CRO, which is the Croatian variant of the Patria AMV. The second deployment would take place in 2020 with a contingent of 188 soldiers. It was reported that most of these troops came from Croatia's 3rd Mechanized Battalion of the Guards Mechanized Brigade. Milmag.pl states that this 2020 Croatian contingent was composed of, among others, 15 Patria AMV 8x8 armored vehicles, including 13 combat vehicles, 1 ambulance, and 1 recovery vehicle. There were also 6 utility trucks, 2 all-terrain vehicles or ATVs, and 1 MATV vehicle. A video posted to social media also shows a medical team being deployed for this rotation and joined German and Dutch medics to form a contingent that would support the military during the coronavirus pandemic.
Our mission here is to help Croatian armed forces and our NATO allies in this corona pandemic.
We are here to help the military in Lithuania with the corona crisis, and everybody here, especially all the German, Croatian, every soldier that's here. And as soon as we're done, we'll take care of our own problems back at home.
Then, after over 2 years of absence, Croatia decided to return again. In 2022, it was announced that a unit of the same size, an infantry company, would be deployed in 2023 as well. For this deployment, we unfortunately couldn't find information about the unit, but we did see the Patria AMVs back again. We also found this video of a Croatian mortar platoon doing some training during their time in Lithuania. And so, what does the future hold for Croatian involvement in the Baltics? Well, it looks like the country has committed to another rotation, which will take place in early 2026. This will see the deployment of an artillery howitzer battery in Lithuania. Current Defense Minister Dovile Šakaliene discussed the deployment with her Croatian counterpart on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference in Germany and was quoted as saying, "We are grateful to Croatia for its years-long contribution to the security of the Baltic and the entire NATO eastern flank, contributing to the operations of NATO's forward land forces and for joining the demining coalition for Ukraine at our invitation." No specific types of weaponry were mentioned, but we know that Croatia has both towed and self-propelled howitzers of both Soviet and Western origin. It would somewhat make sense for the Balkan country to send its PZH-2000s to Lithuania, as the same tracked platform is operated by the Baltic nation. It was in December 2024 that the Croatian parliament approved 12 decisions to deploy Croatian troops to missions abroad, including the participation of the Croatian armed forces in NATO's Forward Land Forces mission, the KFOR peacekeeping operation in Kosovo, and the NATO mission Iraq. As we noted in our video discussing deployments to the Baltics and other similar missions, each participating nation must decide what it can commit based on budget and politics. And so perhaps Croatia's on-again, off-again presence in the Baltics is due to limited resources and other military commitments. For example, we know that Croatian troops have been deployed fairly regularly over the years to Poland in support of that country's NATO-enhanced forward presence/forward land forces mission. Croatia's contribution to Poland's multinational unit has often taken the form of multiple rocket launchers and artillery. But there's your quick summary of Croatia's deployments to the Baltics thus far, and more specifically to Lithuania. What do you think of Croatia's deployments to this part of the world? Let us know by leaving a comment.